Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we will start our new topic, General Ayub Khan and Martial Law of 1958 and the reforms of Ayub Khan. Now, as in the previous lecture, we have discussed that Iskandar Mirza became the president of Pakistan on 16th October 1955, and then he removed 4 prime ministers one by one in 2 years. These 4 prime ministers were Chaudhry Muhammad Ali, Hussain Shahid Sohrawardi, I. Chandigarh, and Firoz Khan Noon. These all situations created many problems in the country, especially the politics was going very bad. So that's why, to control this situation, Iskandar Mirza imposed martial law on 7th October 1958, and he appointed the martial law administrator as General Ayub Khan. So he forced Iskandar Mirza to resign, and then within 20 days he himself assumed the power, and the political system was abolished on 27th October 1958. There were some causes of the promulgation of martial law. Number 1 was the worst economic condition. We all know that Pakistan is an agricultural country, but the food items were also imported, which on the one side was very costly, and on the other side there were drawbacks in the process of distribution. Moreover, smuggling, corruption, and black marketing was also at the peak. Smuggling in the country had adopted the shape of the business, while smugglers were also supported by the effective people. There were political disorder as well, because the prime ministers in the country were changing every day, and the rulers were postponing election in the country for their own interest. Means there was a nominal parliamentary system in the country, and the prime minister had no status. So these all created the political disorder. Then the trade condition was also very worst, because profiteering and adulteration was common in the food stuff. The demand of goods and raw materials in the world market was near to finish. Also, the Pakistani currency was devalued. Pakistan remained dependent on Western countries. The industrial process was also very in slow motion, because strikes, lockouts, and industrial conflicts were the daily routine matters. Now, as Ayub Khan became the president of Pakistan, so at that time the country was passing through difficult time. So that's why he introduced different reforms which are known as Ayub Khan reforms. These reforms were agricultural reforms, economic reforms, social reforms, and political reforms. Now we will discuss one by one. Agricultural reforms. As we know that Pakistan is an agricultural country, so that's why the government of Pakistan formed a commission on 31st October 1958, whose job was to give solution of the agricultural problems. Then this commission gave its first report on January 1959. According to this report, certain reforms were introduced. Number 1, the government finished all the feuds. Number 2, limit of possession. According to the limit of possession, 500-acre canals, a person was determined as 500 acres canal irrigated, 1000 acre drain irrigated, and 150 acre for gardens which a farmer can kept himself. The rights of peasants. Now, the rights of peasants were safeguarded, and the forced labors from the tillers was strongly prohibited. Number 4 was the land beyond limit. Now, the area of land with the farmer beyond limit was taken into custody by the government, and they were given in return the government bonds. The 5th point was the land consolidation. In the land consolidation, small pieces of land were consolidated, means combined, and made able for the modern cultivation. Indus Basin Treaty was also signed in 1960, which solved the problem of water. According to this treaty, the western tributaries of Pakistan, Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab, they were given to Pakistan, and then Ravi, Beas, and Satluj, they were given to the India. Moreover, tube wells and tractors were also provided on easy loans to the farmers. That's why this era is known as the Green Revolution. The second reforms which were introduced by Ayub Khan was the economic reforms. Now, economic development also took place during Ayub Khan era because new industries were installed and the dead industries were also redeveloped. And the estimated economic development in the Ayub Khan era can be estimated as the national income increased by 30%, the export increased by 7%, annually. Industrial sector progressed by 40%. The agricultural sector was also progressed by more than 15%. During this era, industries were insisted to use more local raw material in industries so that the foreign exchange could be saved. For the development of the new industries, the Pakistan Industrial Development Corporation was established, and it was established actually in 1949, but it was again redeveloped. According to PIDC, new industries were installed and work on the big dams were also started. Like the dams were Varsak, Mangla and Tarbela, they were developed in this era. And then cottage industries were also developed so that the urban areas and the rural areas may not left behind in the development race. Then social reforms were introduced which took the shape of ordinance in 1961, and they are known as the Muslim Family Law Ordinance. Now, according to the Muslim Family Law Ordinance, certain points were given, like entry of marriage in union council was made compulsory. And number 2, willingness of first wife was necessary for second marriage for any male. Method of divorce. Traditional method of divorce of 3 times together was abundant in the law for divorce, and it was given a legal shape. Now, arbitration councils. The arbitration councils were also established at the union councils level, and its functions were to make patch-up between husband and wife in case of divorce. And number 2, man may be given permission of second marriage when consent of first wife is taken and he can support her. Number 3, females were provided more legal safety. Imam and Khatib were appointed as registrar for entry of marriage in the union council. Now, where this ordinance was welcomed, some people criticized it also because few of the points were against the law of Islam. Now, the development of the country also took place in this era, but this development created economic differences between the people because most of the profit came from the industries were given to the industrialists. That's why the richer became richer and poorer became poorer. So these were the drawbacks of the Ayub Khan era. Thank you, students. That's all for today.